Recently, one of our longtime clients, Barb, emailed me with a great question. She wrote, I've been hearing a lot lately about resistant starch and its positive effect on calorie management and digestion. I'd be interested in your thoughts. Great question, Barb. Because if you've been on social media lately, you've probably heard people talking about resistant starch like it's the latest nutrition miracle. So, is it? Well, yes and no. It's definitely not a magic bullet. But it is one of the more interesting areas of nutrition research over the last couple of decades. So what exactly is resistant starch? Normally, when you eat carbohydrates like potatoes, rice, or oats, your body digests that starch into glucose and absorbs it into your small intestine. Resistant starch is different. As the name suggests, some of it resists digestion. Instead, it travels to your large intestine where it feeds your beneficial gut bacteria. Those bacteria then produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids, especially one called butyrate, which helps support the health of your colon and may contribute to improvements in metabolic health. That's why researchers have become so interested in it. Now, before you run out and buy resistant starch supplements, here's what I think is really exciting. Many of the best sources of resistant starch are foods we already recommend to our clients every single day. Things like potatoes, beans and lentils, legumes, rice, and slightly green bananas is kind of a new one for me. That's one of the reasons I like this topic. It isn't about buying another supplement. It's about preparing everyday foods maybe a little bit differently. Research suggests that resistant starch may help to improve blood sugar control, improve insulin sensitivity, support a healthier gut microbiome, increase fullness after meals, which can then help satiety, and possibly make weight management a little bit easier. Notice I said may. Some websites will make resistant starch sound like a fat-burning superfood. That's unfortunately simply not what the evidence says. But the benefits appear real, even if they are modest, and they work best when they're part of an overall healthy diet. One of my favorite benefits has nothing to do with physiology. It's that resistant starch encourages better meal prep habits. For example, if you cook potatoes, rice, or pasta ahead of time, cool them overnight, then enjoy them cold or simply reheat them, they actually naturally contain more resistant starch than when they're freshly cooked. So meal prep becomes even more valuable. Now, here's one myth I'd like to clear up. You'll sometimes see cornflakes or puffed rice cereals listed as good resistant starch foods. Technically, they may contain small amounts of resistant starch, but practically, they're still highly processed, rapidly digested cereals that I wouldn't necessarily recommend eating simply because someone measured resistant starch in them in a lab. Instead, focus on whole foods that give you multiple benefits. Foods that provide resistant starch, plus fiber, plus vitamins and minerals, plus, in the case of legumes, they could also be a decent source of protein. At Performance Institute, we like to keep nutrition simple. So here are our 4 golden rules when it comes to resistant starch. Number 1, eat foods that naturally contain resistant starch like oats, beans, lentils, and slightly green bananas. Number 2, cook starches like potatoes, rice, and pasta in batches. Cool them overnight, and then enjoy them cold or simply reheat them within your meal prep. You don't have to eat cold potatoes though if you don't want to. Research has found that the resistant starch remains largely intact after reheating. Make sure to read the full blog to get the full scoop on the science behind resistant starch, benefits of resistant starch, which should motivate you to include even more of them in your daily routine. And next week, we're going to make this even more practical. We'll show you complete 1,400, 1,800, 2,200, and 2,800 calorie meal plans that help you provide about 50 to 30 grams of resistant starch in your diet, plus help you hit your fiber and protein targets. If you found this video helpful, I suggest that you maybe share this with somebody that you care about, and look forward to seeing you next week when we continue our topic on resistant starch.